Anti-Trump libs freaking out about what's in Manafort investigation. Their plan of impeachment is destroyed. Ever since Trump won the election, liberals have been foaming at the mouth, inventing scandals that they hoped would end in an impeachment for our new president. This past week liberals have been waiting with bated breath for special counsel Robert Mueller to file charges against Trump's former campaign manager Paul Manafort, after it was discovered that Manafort committed conspiracy against the United States with his money laundering and other financial transaction-related crimes. Liberals were so sure that the investigation into Manafort would finally produce evidence of Trump's collusion with the Russians, but their celebration is unfortunately going to be short-lived after the shocking thing that was just revealed about Trump. Following the indictment that revealed that Manafort funneled over $75 million through his offshore account and laundered over a whopping $18 million, liberals were so certain that what was found in the investigation would center around Trump's collusion with the Russians and lead to his impeachment. But just in time for Halloween, something horrific has just shattered every liberal dream in America, as other investigations heat up and prove that the only one colluding this entire time with Russia has in fact been their Queen Hillary, and their Black Messiah, Barack Hussein Obama. Breaking reports reveal that absolutely nothing in the indictment even remotely suggests there was any sort of collusion between the Russian government and Trump. But it gets even more heartbreaking for liberals, as you will soon see. The Daily Wire reported, "The media are going to have a tough time linking Manafort to Trump and Trump to Russia, thereby, at least from the charges in this indictment. There's literally nothing about collusion, there's literally nothing about Trump. This is about Manafort, which could suggest that Mueller wants to flip Manafort against Trump, or it could be that Manafort is going to go down for his alleged nefarious activities over the period of the last decade and a half. But the Russian collusion narrative has not been forwarded by this indictment." Liberals are absolutely frantic to divert attention away from Hillary Clinton's actual collusion with the Russians and are doing everything they can to twist this Manafort scandal into an impeachable offense against President Trump. What's even more outlandish is that liberals are now trying to say that investigating Hillary Clinton's Uranium One scandal is a crime. Yes, you heard that correctly. The liberal media is asserting that the very act of Trump investigating Hillary is a crime. Via America's freedom fighters. As the public has finally began to realize the extent of the corruption surrounding Hillary Clinton, including the now infamous Russia Uranium One deal, the mainstream media has gone into hyperdrive to discredit and distract from documented facts and are now going as far as to float the idea that Trump may be committing a crime for simply investigating Clinton at all. That's right, in the sick world of the establishment media, Trump is committing a criminal act by even considering an investigation into shady Clinton dealings with the Russians. After all, she is above the law, right? Even more disgusting, the so-called reporters spewing this nonsense are using the fact that Mueller is conducting a deep state operation, now discredited, against the president that accuses him of working with Russia to win the election when in reality it is the exact opposite. In other words, Trump is being accused of something he didn't do, but because of this, he can't investigate real crimes committed by Clinton. During an appearance on MSNBC's AM Joy, legal analyst Paul Butler laughably claimed that it absolutely is obstruction of justice for the government to investigate Hillary Clinton because Russia. Would these attempts to distract from the investigation, even attempting to unseal or remove the gag order from an FBI informant in order to further what is essentially a side investigation that they're pursuing, is that in itself an element of obstruction? Host Joy Reid stunningly asked, making clear that she believes selling off 20% of the country's uranium supply to Russia is a side issue. It's pretty hilarious that whatever liberals accused Trump of doing, they wouldn't have been found guilty of. As the liberal media continues their war path to invent a scandal that will finally bring down President Trump, meanwhile, Hillary could now be living out her last remaining days of freedom, as FBI officials are now coming out of the woodwork to testify against Hillary and Obama for their act of treason involving the Uranium One scandal, that many are labeling the scandal of the decade. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.